Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with another film review. Let me get it together here. We are talking about Counterattack, although it is pronounced totally different. It's Spanish, so I think that's a contra,
My Spanish is basic at best, all right? I'm not even trying.
contrataki, or something like that.
My Spanish is
Um,
not good.
right.
It's been a minute.
But IMDb gave this joint a 6.0. Keo,
That is high. That is too high.
is that crazy
That
high
is
or
too
what?
high. That is too
That's
high.
too high, really?
Yeah.
Okay, dude,
This
so
movie
check it
had
out.
problems.
This movie had problems. Okay, so check it out. This movie
Mm,
this is a film on Netflix. Um
mm,
it's only less than an hour and a half long, so maybe an hour and 25 minutes long, right? And
yeah.
it's again, you had the dubs and everything, so the dubs are really interesting.
The dubs are bad.
The dubs were
Their
like, I mean, I'm
dubs were
like,
very bad.
I mean, dude,
The
like
voice work was trash.
if they're like if someone could say, hey, you know
Mm,
what, I'm going to create a dub factory where you have
mhm.
very good speaking people, great voices, able to dialogue and communicate in a way that's believable. I think that company would be like a $1 billion company for real,
Oh yeah,
because
for sure. Like, but I mean,
you
they
know
can't fix scripts, all right?
yeah.
There's the problem there. They can't fix a terrible script. They can only do so much work there to fix this overall thing. And
You want to give
this
a
movie had problems.
Yeah, problems. You want to give a brief overview of Counterattack, and then we can get into it.
So there's two stories here. There's the story of a mother and a daughter,
Hmm.
and the daughter's been busy in these streets, and so she on the way to the doctor, she discovers a mass grave, and then the criminals, I should say, the bad guys discover them. They've found this grave on the side of the road, and so it merges into story B, which is a Mexican Rambo and his team of they are intervening. He's out drinking with his buddy, and they intervene with the mother and daughter from the cartel individuals, and and then they decide to go on vacation, and, and they got caught by the cartel, and it became a shootout in the woods, and that's the movie. That's
Basically
basically
it,
the
dude.
movie.
So,
That is
okay.
basically the movie.
Now you said, okay,
And
so
corruption.
in
Corruption.
corruption, of course, it's drugs, it's in Mexico, it's corruption.
It's
Um,
corruption. Yeah.
so with this film, it's kind of weird because like the mother and daughter totally did not even need them. Totally did not
Mm-mm.
even. You see what I'm saying? And I said this to you
Yes.
offline, and I said this to you last week as well. I
Hmm.
actually like that Hollywood, they're making films that are an hour and a half long, short films, right?
Hmm.
Um, but if you're going to make a short film, you got to get out all of the ridiculousness too. And in this film, you had about 30 minutes of ridiculousness, with the mother and daughter, and then all of this other crazy talking and the stupid dubs and everything, and the fake,
Yeah.
bullets. Oh my goodness, dude. Come on.
No, because like the mother and daughter storyline wasn't integrated into the main story well.
Not well,
So
anyway.
like it
Yeah.
was a thing that happened, but like you could have told the main story without the mother and daughter part of the story, and it would have been
Yeah.
fine. And so like that's a bad script right there because of that. But like that's not my beef with the movie though.
What's your
I feel
beef
like
with the
that could
movie?
have been left in. It is what it is.
Mhm.
My beef with the movie is the strategy of the good guys and the strategy of the bad guys. They're dumb. Both of them are very dumb. They're really, really, really dumb, and it's mind-boggling how stupid they are. So the bad guys are like, "We're gonna get this police chief. He killed our father." Okay, okay, there's a story right there. All right,
Mhm.
fine. He doesn't even know. You didn't tell him. Hey, we're getting revenge for what you did to our father. You didn't say that. This guy's going through the whole movie without any information. How does that work for you? Why tell us then?
I
This
mean,
is, you know what I'm saying? Like this information wasn't passed to anybody else. So like you don't even know their motivations. They're just mad. That's what
and,
it was.
and here's the other thing, right? So
Mhm.
Okay, if you are of a drug cartel in Mexico, you don't do
Mhm.
anything. You give
It's
orders.
in your best interest not to do anything
Yeah.
yourself. It's your
But
best
this
interest.
guy who was like the leader of this drug cartel, he actually went with his men to like kill this guy. I guess because he killed his brother and like his crew killed his father. And I was just like,
Yeah, but,
it's
like,
it's
I
it
would wait
doesn't
till you
happen that
capture
way.
him, and then I would but here's the thing, the logical thing was you wait till you capture him,
Yeah.
and then you show up
Yeah.
with your big brass balls and your and
Exactly.
whatever you're gonna
Yeah.
do. That's when you show up and like, "Alright, we got him. Come on, boss, let's go." That's when you show up.
Yeah.
This guy was there from the beginning. He got his feet dirty, he's walking through the woods like, "Bro, what are you doing? What on earth are you doing?" Especially because after the beginning when he killed oh, you said 2 sets of men, 2 groups of men these guys killed. That's my first clue of, "Oh, we need some more help, and then let me know how this goes. I'll be at home with my
Right.
daughters and making pancakes."
and,
Right?
and then,
Like
and then the other thing they did was the drug cartel. They were so bent on
Mhm,
getting this guy, right?
mhm,
The special forces guy, the Mexican Rambo.
mhm.
He walked through the mountains with his men with heavy artillery, meaning two people had to carry this artillery, and they had two of
50
them, right?
cals. Yeah,
Yes,
no, he had
exactly.
4 50 cals they brought
Yeah,
up there.
and I was just like, I mean, like you're walking through the really through the mountains, dude.
Why? She
You don't
guys
have a
can handle
baby
this.
helicopter, being a drug cartel, like, kingpin or whatever. You don't have like a baby,
Bro,
helicopter or
I
one of those
I got
drug mule,
questions,
like,
man.
submarines or something to get around. I mean, I'm just like, what is going on with this? This is, and here's the other thing too, right?
Yeah.
So I'm watching a movie and I'm like,
Mhm.
I will admit that I was waiting for it to end, right? So I was just like, and so I kept looking at it. I was like, oh, it's 25 minutes left, right? And I was like, okay. So I kept waiting. And then when it hit 20 minutes, I was like, oh, this is when all the action is going to happen. All the action started like around the 18-minute mark. And I was just like, you see, we have to get out of
Yeah.
that blueprint, that template of we're gonna feed you all this garbage for like an hour
Mhm,
and 10 minutes, and then the last 20
mhm,
minutes we're gonna give you the action. That is what I'm talking about when I say Hollywood is lazy. It's just like, oh yes, this film would do. Even people,
mhm.
people who are selecting films to actually, purchase and like, put on streaming services like a Netflix, they have to start saying like, well, you know what, you only gave us the action like the last 20 minutes of the film, so we're not interested
Yeah.
in that.
No,
I mean,
this is
people
a
have to
movie that
start
you
like
put on
denying
Netflix
that.
to fill up content. That's
Yeah,
what this is for,
for
right? This
real.
is we need 100 movies here. Let's get this one here and throw
Well,
it in
it's
there because
also
like
part of their,
100 movies.
their international expansion too. They want like Indian
Which thing
films, they
I
want
normally
Spanish
like.
films, things like that.
Yeah, yeah, no, I like the expansion of movies from different countries. I like that. There's a lot of good movies from Korea. China's got a bunch of good movies.
Hmm.
Like there's good stuff around the world. But this movie was not one of
No.
them. This movie stunk because of execution and plot. It was terrible. Like, okay, here's a perfect example. And we talked about this offline, but this drove me crazy. So you have 5 army guys that come into this building, and they did not bother to do any recon about the entire building. They have no idea. They didn't check it out.
Hmm.
They didn't
Well,
see,
well,
oh, wait, there's some tunnels here. Okay, we need somebody in the back to keep an eye on these tunnels.
well,
That
well,
guy stumbled back there by accident.
Well, wait a minute. When they walked into the building, they shot like three or four people, and then they shot the other person who was in a room with the two women.
Yeah, like the two
Remember?
girls
Yeah.
doing stuff,
Right.
right?
It's
But
just like, oh my goodness, come
but I'm
on.
just saying, like, you didn't walk down the street, see what's in the area. You didn't check it out. There's a creek there. Oh, there's a way to escape. They didn't check nothing out. Like, hey, you didn't check, and you didn't secure the place. I would have thrown
And
some grenades down in the shaft and be like, okay,
well,
once you open up this door,
they
this
didn't even
pin's
know
gonna go
that.
off and boom,
Right.
boom.
They didn't
Right?
even
I would have
they
done
didn't
all
even
that
know it was a tunnel. So it was just like, okay, so if you're special forces in Mexico, the first thing you
In
do
Mexico.
in
In
Mexico, the
Mexico.
first thing you do is you check the house for tunnels. And they can be anywhere. They can be under a toilet seat. They can be under, carpet, anything like that. And, it's so weird because it's just like when they said, "Hey, you know what? Is there another way out?" And they were like, "We do have a tunnel that's going to the river. That's how we deliver stuff." And it's just like, of course, there's a tunnel. This is Mexico. This is drugs. I hate to say that, but you hear a lot of stuff like that when you hear about these huge drug busts, like on the
Mhm.
American side near the
Yeah, no, they
Mexican
make they
border, and
they
it's
tunnels, man.
tunnels. You know what I'm saying? It's
Cartels
tunnels.
do tunnels. It's not even stereotype.
Yeah,
Cartels make tunnels
right.
because they're
It's
useful.
yeah, exactly,
Because smuggling
exactly.
goods is useful.
They're useful, exactly. So I was just like, okay, so and I guess my man he was already like Swiss cheesed up, so he pulled the grenade and I guess he fell down in a shaft with
He
the
did. I
grenade
mean, kudos to him, but like, bro, you should have done that from the beginning, bro.
for real.
You should have threw a bunch of. They found boxes, the crates full of weapons. I would have do like a trip line or something with you open this hatch, this thing's going off. I
Mhm.
would have done that. At minimum, I would have done that. And at least so that we don't have to worry about behind us. We just focus on our front. I would have at a minimum, I would have done that. Also, if you got a sniper on your team, well, obviously he's got to be outside in the highlands. Like
Right.
he can't be inside the building with you guys. He's useless.
Right.
I would have had that guy up on the hilltop, just chilling.
You know what? I was watching like a couple days ago. I don't know why I was watching this, but I watched the last Rambo movie. It's available on
Mhm,
Netflix. You can check it out, right? And what Rambo did was he knew people were coming to this house to get him, right? So what
mhm.
Rambo did was, like you said, he created tripwires all over the place. You know,
They're in the army. They should know how to do these
I mean,
things.
you hit a tripwire, a pitchfork is coming and it's going to take your head off. He had like, I
Mhm.
mean, he had all types of like alerts, notifications, like tripwires.
Yeah.
He had like,
Yes.
he had tripwires where if you tripped it, then a gun would like go off and you would be blasted. And it's just like
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
he's
Like you
he's
set the
special
door, you
forces.
open up the door,
Right,
boom,
exactly.
shotgun.
He's special forces. Why these guys who are special forces, why didn't they think about that? And here's something else too.
I don't know.
The last time I was in Mexico, we were in Cozumel
Mhm,
and we went down to the just the I guess the downtown area, right? And dude,
mhm,
there were like Mexican army and navy
mhm.
all just walking the streets with guns, heavy guns, like just all over the place. And I was like,
Yeah.
yo, what's going on here, dude? This is like
Yeah. Are we
I was
safe?
like, I thought this was a tourist area, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, wow, so it's kind of
Mhm,
crazy. But
mhm.
Counterattack, man, I can't even say this film had bones because it was just kind of all over the place. But I do think that this film is probably going to do well with the Mexican viewership, huh? What do you think?
You think so? I
Yeah.
don't I don't know, man. I've seen good Mexican movies. Like, there's lots of good movies that are directed by Mexican people. Like, this, I don't know. I don't
It-
think so.
okay,
I don't
so
think this movie has any appeal to anybody.
I think, and this is the other thing I thought about when I was checking out this movie.
Mhm.
So like I grew up like my father he played in a lot of like Latin bands and everything like that, and he spoke fluent
Mhm,
Spanish, so he used to speak to me like in Spanish, right?
mhm,
And I was like, okay, I was like, so I'm looking at the film, and
mhm.
I remember he used to take me to his friend's house, and the friend's parents used to watch Spanish soap operas, right?
Yes.
And so I'm looking at this film and I'm like, yo, this joint looks and feels like a Spanish soap opera, minus like that, sort of high glossy color. It looked like
Mhm.
it look and sound like, a soap opera, a Spanish soap
Yeah,
opera.
it has, like, the elements of a TV series
Yeah,
and, like, just drums and stuff, and just
exactly.
silliness.
And I
That
was
you're
just,
right. It does feel like I've seen a few of them, the telenovela. I've seen a bunch,
yeah,
and yeah, you're right. It does have that vibe of
it
as
has
far as
that
the
vibe.
storyline's not connecting,
Hmm.
it's got that vibe. And I don't know if it's a knock on them, whatever, but like I've also grown up watching action movies my entire life, right? I've seen a lot of them. I've seen quite a few. And this movie fails on the action movie front because
No,
the resolution wasn't there
yeah,
and it wasn't personal. Like it should have been like if this to me this would have made sense, right? This guy is going on vacation with his boys for the birthday, and then everybody gets shot up and he gets shot and he gets out, but he gets out. and then he's out for justice by himself. Boom, movie. Here you go.
That's
And then
it.
he discovers, oh wait, this guy, his family got murdered because of his team back in the day before he got there. Like, okay, movie. All right, this is awesome. But like, it should have been like a one man gang kind of thing, one man army, the Rambo esque things, Terminator, whatever, by himself out there, out for justice. Steven Seagal. That makes sense.
Yeah.
This movie with your team of 5 army guys who are
Hmm.
completely useless. Outside, I would say the sniper guy is useless. The sniper guy was useful. Everybody else useless.
Yeah.
Then the tactical skills, the thought process was insane. The doctor guy was useless. Like his story about him going to see his family was dumb. Like everything was dumb, man. It bothered me. It honestly it bothered me. It was frustrating watching this movie. I'll say it like that. It was
and,
frustrating.
and here's the other thing too, right? Okay.
Mm,
If you're the police and you hear about these stories all the time. It's out
mhm,
there. It's in stone. It's in ink. The ink is dry,
mhm,
right? So what you hear is this, right? You hear about like when the Mexican military is going after, these drug cartels, right? Dude, this is like an
mhm.
all-out battle, right? This isn't
Yeah.
just like, in the cartels, man, they have thousands, tens of thousands of people who are down with them. So in this movie,
Mhm,
you have a cartel and he's rolling up with
mhm,
like 9 people, 10 people, 4 people.
mhm.
I'm just like, again, understanding the premise of the film, I'm just like, oh, okay, this is going to be a huge battle between the Mexican
Yeah,
military
it should be more like an
and the
army
drug
type thing
cartel.
with the
Right.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
didn't turn out that way. It was just a bunch of, bumbling, like, idiots
budget.
trying to like
The
kill someone
budget.
because they were angry. And I was just like, okay, so
Mhm.
this is what we got. And it's sad because I don't know if this film could have been great or not because I didn't see
No,
any
but
real bones of it, anything like that. What do you think?
yeah, no, this is what I'm saying. This is why I said to do the one man going against the
Yeah.
cartels
Hmm.
versus the army, because clearly they didn't have the budget to put the army out, go out there.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't afford that. So that's why, like logically, it would make more sense of one man taking out the cartel. He gets to the boss and he finds out, he killed his father back in the day, whatever. Like that, you could merge these storylines together. He rescues the girls there. All that stuff could have been done like that, but they chose a path that didn't make any sense. Like they should have. This should have been like if they went back to the cartel's mansion, because like this guy's mansion basically looks like he's got a condo. Like he's downtown Mexico in a condo. That's
I
the thing
was
look like.
I didn't first of all, I was like, "Oh, he's the leader of the drug cartel, dude. He
I was
lives in
like,
a
all right,
garden style apartment on the
like,
first floor, dude. Come
right?
on."
Like he's got like he got two bedroom bungalow. Like it doesn't
Exactly.
seem like
It's
he
just
got a
like
thing.
I'm like, "Come
This guy
on."
didn't look like he's the boss.
And then he
He's looks
starts
like
out like all lovey-dovey with his kids, and then when he gets a door knock, he's like, "Don't eat your man." And I'm just like, "Oh my goodness, come on, this is crazy, man."
he
You
like
know, this joint, man. Oh my goodness. Listen, counterattack. We
I
are. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna wrap it up, dude.
Yeah, yeah, wrap it up, man. Wrap it up, man.
Wrap this
Wrap it
joint up, dude. We are talking about Counterattack. This is available on Netflix. Keo, what are you gonna rate Counterattack?
I give it a 4, and it probably would have been lower, but like I was like, oh, this movie stinks. But I had high hopes for it when I started watching it. I was like, oh, this could be interesting. Because like the way it started, I was like, okay, they had the car crash, and they're like, oh, it didn't happen. It's a flashback. Why is that a flashback? I don't
Right.
care. Like,
Hmm.
just get to it. Like, I I was hoping for better, and I thought like the way they're talking, oh, this is gonna be tactical, smart, and they're gonna use the resources like MacGyver. No, they didn't do any of that. It was just straightforward movie that people got shot, and then the cartel guy begging at the end it was whack. It was
Yeah,
very whack.
exactly.
That was dumb. I would if this was it. I would be like, okay, let's fight mano a mano, right? You just get up there and start shooting people with my gun that was in my back pocket, and then I won. Like it'll be like that. Like something stupid to make it so the bad guys win, because that would make me feel better about this movie. I did not care for the good guys at all. The movie was boring at
Yeah.
best, and the plot points don't add up. I I hope that whoever directed this can do a better movie. This is the thing. I don't want these guys' careers to be ruined or anything like that. I don't watch their work. I just
Why not?
make a better movie, bro. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. Make a better movie. Four.
I,
Get a
I
4 out of 10.
I am going to give Counterattack a 3 because, and the only reason it's getting a 3 is
Mhm.
because it's obviously better than Cosmic Sin, and it's also obviously better than Jupiter's Legacy. If I didn't see those two
Okay, that's fair.
films, I would give this joint a 1, right? But I'm giving it a
Yeah,
3
yeah. You're right.
because
There's
of
worse
that.
things out there.
There's worse things out there. You know, this film right here, The Six, I don't know where the 6 came from, dude. This joint is a 3
That's
and a 4.
way
You
too
know what I'm
high.
saying?
That's way too high.
This joint has like there's no cohesion. You have plot points that are like absolutely ridiculous, like the mother and the daughter. Like you don't need them. This joint should have been
Mhm.
like um, a smackdown 1 hour film where you had the Mexican military going up against the cartel. That's what it should have been. An hour of just like straight Swiss cheese, but they didn't have the
Mhm.
budget. So I am giving it a 3. Keo gave it a 4. If you're interested, go check it out. It's on Netflix. And if you do
Mhm.
watch it, we both apologize.
That's fair. That's totally
Well,
fair.
there you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.